Okay, well here we are to review step number 29 of the 67 steps. This one was called Stephen Hawking, Entropy, and Remembering the Future. The injection of energy to overcome time. And we start off this lesson with an idea from Stephen Hawking, recently deceased world-renowned physicist. And in his study of the universe, early on in his life, he had the conclusion that since the universe is ever expanding since its creation in the Big Bang, he thought that eventually that process would be reversed and time would start to move backwards, similar to the movie Benjamin Button. But then later on in his career and his studies and his calculations, he determined that this was unlikely and that time only moves forward. And this is important to realize because in the law of thermodynamics, physicists have determined that there's a law called entropy, which basically says that everything every day moves towards disorder. And that means in your health, wealth, love, and happiness. An example of this is, just look at your body. If you don't take care of your body over time, it's going to erode. It's going to erode anyway. You don't have the choice in that fact, but you do have the choice in the speed in which entropy is happening or the level of disorder. Ty gives the example of if you buy a brand new house and you just leave it unkept and come back 10 years later, it's not going to look better than when you left it. It's going to look worse, for sure. It's not going to suddenly have a new coat of paint on it. It's not going to suddenly have a new porch. Same with your car. You buy a brand new whatever car and just leave it in the driveway. It's going to rust, rot, and depreciate very quickly. That's inevitably going to happen anyway, but you can reverse entropy by injecting energy into the system. You hire a remodeler or a carpenter to come over to put a new coat of paint on your house, to put an addition on it so it increases in value, so it doesn't decrease in value. You hire a personal trainer to help you with your exercise program, and you inject energy into your body through the form of exercise and good nutrition. You're still going to age, but you can slow down the process that you age. And you can think of it as being an investor. Some people are doing this and some people aren't. We don't need to name any names, but we certainly all run into people often who look good for their age or don't look good for their age. And it's really about the choices they make every day. Everyone's aging. Today's the youngest you'll ever be, but you can choose the rate in which you're aging. And there's a quote in here by Seneca, let me find it, that says, "Life is long if you know how to use it." And there's an example of someone that seems to be using it very well that Ty refers to. There's a guy, I don't know his name, but he's about 72 years old at the time of his video going viral. And he lives in the Bronx in New York. And even for 72 years old, he looks really good. And he attributes that to doing exercises every single day of his life. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, everything else, jumping rope. And so he's slowed down the aging process by injecting energy into the system of his body. And so yeah, that's a pretty simple lesson, but things don't move towards order unless you make them move towards order. And the lessons at the end of this 67-step lesson are: how have you been squandering your time? And what are you going to do today to slow down entropy? So short lesson, but an insightful one. Things move towards disorder that you don't look after. And instead of getting upset about that, you can combat entropy by continually injecting focus or heat or energy into the system to slow down the erosion process. See you on step number 30 of the 67 steps. Take care.